And everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ladies.
Hello, Rob.
It is
Hello,
date
Kat.
night.
Yeah, good evening. It's Wednesday.
It's
I
the
love how
mindset.
we're also dressed up tonight.
I know. Ladies, off the
How-
shoulder.
Off the shoulder.
Pinag-usapan namin Rika.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kidding.
the bra strap. Rika, I like the touch of the bra strap. Really
Yeah.
nice.
and it's pink.
Kathy, you should show more of your shoulder more often. Huh?
I will
Nice.
keep that in mind.
We're getting
Very
tips
Actually,
from
from
Rob.
this angle, it looks like I'm not wearing anything, but yeah, there is something there, guys. how have you guys been? How have you guys? No, I think I'll take it in a different direction. What are you guys grateful for this week?
Many. Well,
Many.
it's been a very strange week. Well, not naman strange, but like for me, there's been a development at work. Well, like my work hours got cut off. So, but it's weird because everybody else is panicking, and for me, I feel like okay, this is my chance to do something with this adversity. So I'm at that transition where I'm like, okay, this is a change, and what are we gonna do about
Yeah.
that? So, I mean, still
Exciting.
grateful. The lights are still on. The Wi-Fi is still there. It's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
still smiling. So
And-
yeah, lots
And
to be
you
grateful
got a
for.
new haircut. You got a
Huh?
new haircut. You
Yeah,
look
you got a new
you remind me of Amanda Griffin, like Amanda
You know-
Griffin back in the day.
But a
I
cuter
feel-
version.
I feel so
Yeah.
light and different. I mean, it's amazing what like a haircut and color can do, really. So
For sure.
yeah, makeover.
Yeah.
So,
How about
for
you,
me,
Rob?
For me naman, also apart from our Wednesday dates, no, I guess I'm pretty grateful that I started doing this 1,000, these numbered reps a day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just grateful that I'm able to exercise, and now I can, because now that I'm here in the family home, there's a lot more green than in BGC. So I'm kind of, even if it's not my preferred space, I like it. It's quiet. I don't get tempted to spend money with every step I make.
Oh, for sure. That's a BGC trap.
That's
Yeah,
why
so-
I don't go out. I don't even go out here.
Yeah, so, and I'm thankful that until now, our business is still alive, and we launched our culinary school yesterday, so that's fun.
Congrats.
Thank you. We're gonna have our intake for culinary school on February 2021. So we're hoping for definitely that next year will be a good bounce back.
Wow,
Nice. Oh, my
sounds
brother is here. Hi, Nat.
exciting.
Oh, you might want to enroll at Rob's culinary school.
It'll be good. How about you?
Yeah,
you, Kathy?
I'm grateful that I'm just feeling a lot better. Than last month was really just I would literally just wake up for this, and then go back to sleep right after. But yeah, I'm just really grateful that I was able to go out. Finally, went out again after 3 months. Hung out with Rika and a couple of other friends.
Thanks, Sasama.
We were supposed to go to Tagaytay next time. Sama ka? Promise?
Pwede ako
we will.
sa gitna. Sa gitna ako pwede.
Yeah, we were crammed in the car, no? We were like 4 in the
Yeah,
back row. It was fun.
Or is that allowed? I don't think that's allowed. Be careful.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah. I have a question for you, ladies. I have a question for you, ladies.
Yeah.
What?
What recently made you feel sensationally sexy?
Is that your question? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good
Recently?
Recently,
It
Good
is.
question.
Really? I don't know. I always feel some.
both of you are looking very extra sexy tonight.
Yeah, because we want to own this episode,
Sexy,
Yeah, and
sexy as
all
the mind.
the men who are slipping into your DMs, Good choice. Beautiful women.
My brother's
Rob
like, girls and
approved.
girls kaya ngayon, hindi ako sanay. Get used to it. This is what I look like when I don't hang out with you, man.
Oh, Nap is your brother. Hi, Nap.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start. Evening, everybody. Before we go back to Rob's question, my name is Kathy Reneses, and I am a life coach. I am with my friends, the lovely Rix Hernandez, who is a yogi and influencer and content creator, and the very handsome and charming Rob Bengson, who happens to be a celebrity chef, educator, also available for anybody that's asking. And welcome to my matters.
Welcome.
We're all available, FYI.
That's why
For
we
sure.
hang out together.
I put that in your ego. Yes, we're all available.
That's why we hang
FYI.
out together.
See the shoulders.
Yeah. So today, like we wanted to end season 1. So this is going to be our last episode for a little while. Then we'll come back. We really wanted to end it on an interesting mindset, and that is being sexy or having sexy as a mindset. So yeah, let's go back to Rob's question. When did we last feel sexy?
Well, I'd want to hear Rob answer that.
Holy
Coming from a guy.
Okay.
Yes,
I have a wonderful thing, no? And mind you, no, I wasn't like this before, but it's only recently I think I blossomed into a full man, So.
Wow.
Exciting. Let's talk about that. So anyway, so I think the last time I felt really sexy was when I was speaking to someone, and then parang that woman was telling me about her stalkers. Like what a woman would casually do, like very casual. Like I don't know, is it a humble brag? I don't know what it was. So anyway, so it goes there, like, oh my gosh, this guy's like so colette, and so my younger self would get very jealous, and my blood would boil in the middle, and all my insecurities would come out. But I handled it very well. I was calm, collected. I was a gentleman. I was just being genuine, and it's so nice, pala, when you're not in that cage in that prison of being a jealous person, no? Because when you're a jealous person, it's a fucking prison. So
That's
I felt
not sexy at all.
Yeah, I felt extremely sexy, and I think my sexy reaction, so to speak, well, it seemed to have worked some charm magic
On her.
I think so.
On her.
Yeah, because that is magnetic because jealousy is repulsive, diba?
Yeah.
It's repelling.
And it's it's something out of your control. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's all in the head. Yeah,
it's this negative set of ideas, and it just all plays in your head, and you become this jealous monster. It's terrible.
It is terrible.
For sure. Yeah. What about you, Rika?
Yeah.
When is the last
I think the last time I felt my most captivating and sexy, I don't know, it was pretty recent, and it's not the experience that you guys know. It's more of like when because I'm the type of person that if I do have interest in anybody, it kind of like it grips me a little bit, it just pulls on my heart just a little bit, because I'm the type of person that like sees a future, sees like what if, all those things. I don't like it. Yeah, but then I gotta remember that, you are meeting a person for not their potential, for who they are in front of you at that moment. You can't date somebody for their potential, because that's your perception of things, right? So anyway, I think
Mhm.
the last time I felt my most sexiest was when I felt like I was just in control of myself. I was able to be just the right amount of flirtatious, girly, and open,
I
and
like,
myself. You like,
I like.
and just have fun, because wala na, ayoko na magdrama. I don't want the serious stuff. I know what I want. So I think that's when I felt my most parang attractive, like for myself. It's like,
Mhm.
damn, I know what I want and I know what I don't want. So deal with it, like, yeah,
Yeah.
How
that's
about
it.
nice? That's good. Yeah, definitely feeling in control because when you feel like you're in control, damn, you feel sexy. That's a wonderful, sexy feeling, diba?
It's powerful. It's power.
Very powerful. And the nice thing is, though, I think it's also your definition of controlling, diba? All you have to control is your own
It's
emotions,
yourself.
diba? Your thoughts.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. How about
Yeah,
you,
for sure.
Madam Senorita? Tell us, tell us.
For me, like last time I felt sexy, what probably today.
Yeah.
Like I've been down for like
Wow.
the entire month. So like today, just being able to like dress up, feel good about myself. I think like today is, a nice like sexy. I feel sexy today.
Yeah. And
You
clothes, I think
are sexy today.
you are sexy today. You are sexy. Ladies, both
Thank
of
you.
you are smoking hot. If I since I want this show to last, I have to stop myself. Stop myself.
Well, you look great too, Rob. You look really handsome tonight
Thank
too.
you, thank you. But I have to say, no, sometimes it really helps to be sexy when you contribute. I don't know when you contribute. When you discipline for yourself, working out, maybe buying nice clothes. Not
For
being
sure.
in a lolo polo shirt. You know those polo shirt na pang lolo.
Lolo
What is
Polo.
the lollipop?
It's a
Girls
bottom.
Like
wear
long,
that?
No, guys.
Oh, okay.
yeah, like long sleeve shirts. What are the lollipolos?
No, it's short
This
sleeves, but it's buttoned down. Like Chicano, all plaid and whatever. Oh,
got it. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
That's
whatever
my
you're comfortable with.
no, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's separate. There's just certain ways to look sexy. Fashion helps.
True.
for
It's like
sure. Yeah,
it's
and then
it's power dressing. It's a reflection of how you want to present yourself to the world.
Yeah, and I think it's also
mhm.
putting good things in your body.
Yeah.
Like food,
Self
exercise.
love.
Yeah, and I think watching too much porn, you won't feel sexy. You'll be insecure.
Voila, you're gonna be
Yeah.
objectifying yourself and
Yeah, this
everyone
is for men.
around you. Yeah,
You watch too much
even
porn, it's bad.
women.
It's bad for your
Because
psychology.
porn doesn't
Yeah.
have a story. It's just very primal. So it doesn't tickle that intelligence part of you because sexual like the brain is one of the biggest sexual organs. You got to be stimulated not just physically but really in your mind as well to be able to have a connection.
Mhm.
So that's why they say like wala, porn just lasts up to there.
Hindi
Better
pang
pa,
sapiosexual yan.
hindi pwede.
And
Hindi
Hindi
pwede.
pang sapiosexual.
Sapiosexual tayo. Tsaka
Oo.
mas better pa, mag-erotica ka na lang. At least may romantic storyline there to to help you fantasize and just exercise that creativity. Because if you don't know how to fantasize, I think like, what, you're kind of like boring na rin, di ba? You don't know how to
Yeah,
imagine
sure.
things. So I think it's just healthy.
Yeah.
well, just to add to that as well, there is a difference of feeling sexy versus being sexualized, and I think for a lot of us, a lot of people don't see the difference, right? So, we're talking about sexy mindset right now, and this is, when we feel sexy, this is us choosing to express our sexuality, right? Compared to if somebody's being sexualized, then you're being viewed or objectified as sexual to other people, kind of like when you watch porn, right? Like
Yeah.
the people that you're watching almost like they aren't human, like there is no dignity there. And I think like that's a fine line, right? Because sexualization is what also perpetuates the rape culture, you know, suggesting that, you know, if a victim gets raped, it's her fault because, you know, she was being too sexy. When in fact she wasn't. She was just being sexualized. And that's something that I really want to get into with you guys as well, because I think especially like in our culture, like it's a very conservative, you know, very Catholic culture, that we really don't talk about what it means to be sexy, right? Or like what sexy means to us. Like it's almost kind of taboo. Now, if you say that as a woman you feel sexy, to a lot of people that automatically means ay malandi ka, right?
Yeah.
Or you have no morals. You know, you can either be Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene, but you can't be both.
Yeah. Pwede yan.
Does that make sense? So yeah. So Rob, what's your take on that? Since you're the guy here.
Ano? Wait, sorry. I think I just sound like a came. I just sounded like I came or something, dude. That's not how I sound. That's not how I sound when I come. It's much.
How do you sound when you come?
Oh my god!
I don't know.
Oh man! Damn! I don't know if I'm ready to share it at this moment, but no. I think you know what? Kasi the girls pag trying hard, dun ang nagiging slutty eh. Pag trying hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so they invite it, no? But there's a classy way to be sexy. You put two girls in a bikini. Dude, one person will knock it off sexily, the other will be total skack. It's a different thing. They could be wearing the same bikini. And so it's a vibe, you know, it's an attitude. It's how you see your own body, I know. Kasi for women, you know, if they're not so smart, they'll tend to make their body try to get things that they want, diba? So that's why, you know, it pays to have a good education or to read or to develop your brain, like you said, diba? Because for women, for men too, for sure. Diba? Kasi may usapan kami with the friends, diba? Kaya pala
Hello.
What's that?
Why do we have an echo, Rika?
What's happening? Hello, Dudu, Ana.
Okay, while Rika's doing that, you were saying, may usapan kayo ng friends mo na?
May usapan kami ng friends namin, di ba? Yung ibang guys gusto magpa-sexy, ayan. Sige, let's, nice, ganda ng kotse, di ba? Ganda ng kotse. Eh, yung problema niya, may oras na bababa rin siya sa kotse.
That is true.
So if you're relying too much on these physical things, and you're still such a stupid idiot, you don't have style, you can't carry conversation, you're dumb, dude. I think dumb men are the most unattractive. I don't want to be a dumb man. I don't want my boys to be dumb men. I know parang right now they're more articulate than some of the people who I know who are 30 fucking years old. So
that's true.
And I think for women, I was told this. Tell me if you agree. It's very sexy for you when we can see that the head of the guy is in the right place. And it's going places pa. Diba?
Yeah. And the eyes are looking at your face, not at your cleavage.
I know. There's peripheral vision. Alam mo, only the amateurs look at the cleavage.
How do you?
The whole time you look at the eyes or behind the head, look somewhere. But in reality, I'm always looking at the boobs. I'm a guy.
It's a skill.
It's a skill that you have to develop. Pero since wala ka na magawa, you're gonna look like that. Oh my gosh, that's so cheap naman, diba? Putang ina. That's some style. It's so cheap.
For sure. Hi, Annie. How are you?
So guys have to also, no? They have to be in that sexy mindset. Kasi parang pag sexy, parang automatically that's for the women or more for the women, no? But like
no, guys work for it too.
I mean, yeah, guys have to work for it, and I want to see more of that.
But like what I'm hearing from Rob is like with guys, it's more about like things, right? Like the car or like what, like I don't know, like the watch, whatever. And I get that.
Or the position in life, career, diba?
And I have been on dates where like that's what the guy is like promoting, right? Like look at my car and look at like this is my position in the company. And it's just it isn't sexy.
It's peacocking, in other words.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's a plus. It's a plus. You can't deny it's a plus.
It is
It is a plus, but then like that isn't what would attract. Well, I guess different demographics.
Yeah, I agree.
Some would
But
find attractive.
it shouldn't be the focal point. Tama ba?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a nice plus. But that's kind of it. So I'm curious. Who sa inyo? I'll start with Rika. Who do you think is a sexy celebrity? Like one woman, one man, and why?
Uy, putang ina, gusto ko yan.
One woman, one man. Well,
Yeah, like who do you think is sexy as a woman, and who do you think is sexy as a man, and why?
Well, I think for women, I think Rihanna is one super sexy feminine type. Yung parang she just really doesn't care about things. You know what I mean? It's like it's that air about her, and it's the way she moves, the way she looks. It's she knows
Hi,
she's
Ruthie.
sexy. Hi,
Yeah.
Ruthie. For a guy, I don't know. I'll have to pass on that and think about it because like
First that comes to mind, like who comes to mind when you think like sexy guy? Can you hear us?
Rika?
there you go. Hey,
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
pwedeng local celebrity.
Pwede.
Yeah. Kilala. Go.
Sige. I'll think about it kasi I have a few in
Wala,
mind.
nagpass.
Go. Nagpass.
Go. Sige, Rob na lang.
For the guy.
Okay, well, for me, I'll choose a local celebrity because I watched this movie lately, recently, on Netflix. So I'll have to say Rian Ramos.
Yes.
I find her quite sexy, and then I didn't know who she was, so I had to look out who was this girl in this movie in Netflix, and then I looked at her, and then I looked at her IG like what normal people would do. Diba? And then I don't know. For me that's sexy. You know, she has some sexy pics, but it's not vulgar, it's not cheap, it's not pilete. Diba? It's,
So what makes her sexy for you?
Huh?
What makes
Sorry?
her sexy for you?
I think what makes her sexy for me is the fact that it's for me. It's sexier to see a woman in lingerie than completely naked because there's mystery. Diba? The mind has opportunity to play around and everything. So maganda siya kasi it doesn't want to show it all, diba? And then on the other hand, you have these some women who just show everything. My gosh, oh my gosh, it's so cheap. It's cheap. Sorry. I find it cheap. It's great. It's great to share on WhatsApp with your mates, but it ends there. Don't expect respect. You cannot expect respect. I think a sexy woman commands respect. The moment respect is lost, para hindi sexy yan. Hindi yan. Touching na yan, touching.
What about for a guy? Who would you consider to be a sexy guy and why?
Okay, without anyone saying that I'm into guys,
Yeah, of course naman.
This is like just being objective.
Okay, I don't know many local ones, but can it be like a character?
Pwede rin.
Sige.
A character for me that can I pass? I have to research. Oh, sige, I'll just quick lang.
Pick one.
Wala eh. I don't think of guys. I don't think of guys kasi.
Parang lang, parang something like, oh, he's attractive, he's cool.
Yeah.
Parang I'd hang out with him, ganyan. Kind of vibe.
Or like if I wanted to be like some version of sexy, I want to be like
James
his version of
Deacon.
sexy.
James Deacon.
James
I'd hang out.
Deacon.
He's like a man's man, like a man's man.
Yeah.
He speaks well. He has a sense of humor, even if sometimes you disagree with it. He stands for something. So, yun, parang yun. He's like a man's man.
For sure. Yeah, James Deacon.
If I may add to that, because he's very supportive to his wife.
Yeah.
Because he's very supportive to his wife. He's very much into his children. The husband of Aubrey Miles.
Oh yeah. Troy
Montero. Yeah.
I love
Troy.
them. They're so awesome.
Yeah.
They're super couple goals.
Both of them. That couple for me is sexy. That couple.
Yeah.
Both of them. Yeah.
Super. I love them.
I love them.
Work out together, everything. Yeah.
I know. They both look good. They're both hot.
Yun.
Yeah, for sure.
Mamaya pag-usapan natin yung how to be sexy.
We're gonna get to that for sure.
Magandang usapan yan. Ako.
Yeah. Let's get to that in a bit.
Okay.
For me, I think like who you guys went local. Sige, I'll go international. For me, for a guy, well, you guys know this already. Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa. Like I like the really like alpha male, but then like there is that very sweet side to them. Like you see like Jason Momoa, and he's like super alpha, and then you see him interact with his wife and his kids, and he's just so, emotionally connected. Like like that for me is like guy goals. Like you can be the man's man, but then you show up for the people that you care for. And I think like that's just pretty amazing. And for women, I've always admired Nigella Lawson and Monica Bellucci.
Oh, wow.
They are right, like they are the type of
They're
women
super sexy.
They just ooze sexy, right? Like you can put them in a potato sack and they would walk into a room and just steal the show. And yeah, like if there is like any version of sexy that like I want to aspire to be, like it's that. Like you see Nigella like talk about how she makes her food. I think siya yung rason kung ba't nauso yung term food porn. Because, just looking at her, like bake a cake or whatever, and I'm not sure if I'm drooling over the food or over the cleavage, but just the way that she kind of shows up and presents herself is just so amazingly sexy for me that I can't help but like be attracted to it.
Okay. Kaya lang, no? Celebrity is fine, obviously. But I think, most of us live in the realm of reality. How about someone who's not generally attractive in the traditional sense?
Okay.
But because of how they carry themselves, I think that more people will find value that in. Can you girls have any idea of anyone who's sexy, male or female or other, that, not necessarily attractive, pero utang kung magdala.
Na hindi celebrity, na hindi famous.
Pwede naman famous para people can relate.
Mine is like yes to Jason Momoa, right?
Right?
Or Henry Cavill. I can't stop watching
That's an obvious choice. Paano naman, how about mere mortals, diba? How about us mere mortals? We have to,
for sure.
Diba? We have to have hope. So, anyone?
Well, I think this is why, like, we're talking about sexy as a mindset, right? Because, I mean, let's be honest, like, a lot of the time, sure, we can have our, like, tick list of who we find attractive and what we find attractive. But, at the end of the day, if we find someone who is, like, confident about who they are as a person, who oozes that kind of energy, you're going to be drawn to him or her, like, no matter what. And for me, like I'm fascinated by the French. The French have, like, my French friends, they just have this, like, they call it je ne sais quoi, right? But they just have this energy of being sexy that it's so effortless. And like I love, for example, how, like, they like to highlight their imperfections, right? So you could have freckles or a crooked nose, or you may have like a gap in your teeth. But they don't consider that an imperfection. They just consider that something that makes them stand out from the crowd. And
Yeah.
it's because of that, like, I don't give a fuck kind of confidence that that really makes you attracted to someone, because they're just so comfortable in the skin that they're in. Like I have a friend who is like a little overweight or whatever, but then, like, but then the energy that she exudes is just so sexy because she owns her curves. That like any man who would see her would want to come up and introduce himself. And in
Right.
our Asian kind of culture, being larger than the medium is considered big. But
Yeah.
she doesn't care about it.
She's French. This
She
person.
is Filipina. But we hang around mostly French people.
Okay, so she
So,
got
yeah.
the culture, the sexy French
Yeah.
culture.
You can't help but get sucked into that. And for me, like, that's what I notice is just so different. Like, with them, like, their sexy is just put out there on display. And it's this, I don't care. I know that I'm sexy, so deal with it. As compared to our Asian humble. Do you know what I mean? So, like,
And
when we try to be
Filipino,
sexy,
super modest, diba?
yeah, but then at the same time, like, you want to feel appreciated. You want to walk into the room and know that, okay, like, somebody desires you. Do you know what I mean? I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to go home with him, but it's nice to know that you're desired in, one way or another. And I think
Yeah,
that
but
adds to the sex.
that thought that you just said right there, like that was never taught to any Filipino girl, diba? To like, hey, you should be able to feel like when you walk into a room, like you
Yeah.
can work the room and own it and own yourself, and that dialogue was never taught to us, diba? It's always about being
For
modest,
sure.
saving yourself
And
for the husband,
hiding yourself.
hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you're basically, you kind of feel like property. I like what Bianca says. For females, I love Ina Raimundo and Sunshine Cruz. For sure. Being a mom of many kids, grabe. Like, those two, and Alice Dixon, like, local. Like, oh my God, Alice Dixon is
Queen.
she is my.
Grabe no. Even up to now, she's like still up there. Si Alice Dixon.
Hi, Rob. What are you trying to say? Pag-uusapan ba natin yan backstage?
No,
You
I
disagree?
disagree with the AD.
Really?
Looks wise,
You
looks-wise.
you can disagree. You can
Looks-wise.
disagree.
Oh, look-wise, yeah, I can disagree. And also with the whole French thing. I mean, yes, the whole French thing, they're sexy, but they have a lot of similar quirks that they share with one another that makes them very difficult people. And so the sexiness it can fade quite fast.
Yeah.
But I understand it, the language, the wine, the cheese, the romance. Yes, it's very sexy. But especially especially the Europeans who have very little contact with other cultures, especially Asian cultures, they can be very like this. I don't know what redneck, like the redneck Europeans. No, it's like the redneck version of what a European would be.
Closed.
Eurotrack.
Narrow-minded.
I guess, yeah, but their only view is Europe and the West, and everything else is kind of like they don't get it.
Yeah,
inferior.
I get that. It's you're below them.
Pero si AD,
no, but
si AD, very beautiful, yeah. Oh, very sexy. Physically. And I will stop there.
Okay. Yeah.
Ganun nga eh.
She is my goal for
the way she speaks for me, it just like parang I've heard her speak. I wish I didn't.
No, not for you.
I'll put it there. Yeah, and then that's I guess that's what I'm sharing. No? Parang, you can be overweight, you can be sexy, whatever, but then the moment someone says something, comes out of your mouth, you're spilling the beans, and those beans are either tasty or very rotten. You got to be careful.
That is true. Yeah, no, what I meant when I said, like, like that French sexy energy is, I love how confident they are with their bodies. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love how, like, they own every single part of themselves. And I think then, kasi, like, coming from our culture where we're kind of taught that, like, oh, you need to be a certain size and your skin color needs to be a certain tone. And if you're not like this, and then that means that you're not sexy.
Yes, I
Right?
agree.
So
Yeah, I agree.
So
Kasi
kind of
the
just seeing them, and just like they don't, like, fuck trends, fuck whatever. Like, this is who I am and deal with it. I just find that super sexy.
The authenticity kasi is good eh. And I think for the French though, it's not so much that they're so proud of their bodies. It's just that there's not a lot of body shaming going on in Europe.
Yeah, they have nude
Exactly.
beaches over there.
In the Philippines,
Mhm.
diba, our last conversation was like, hello! Uy, tumataba ka! Putang ina mo, taba-taba ka na ngayon. Diba? You have this Filipino mentality where, wow, dude, everyone's telling each other na putang ina, tataba nila, diba? So they're so conscious of their bodies. They're so conscious. And the fact that you're so conscious, wala kang kaseksihan, dude.
Syempre.
I think
I know a lot of very slim women, stick figure. I know a lot of very curvaceous, my gosh. But dude, they can be sexy. It's a frame of mind.
It is. It really
exactly. And I think that's what I want to talk about, because I think, lalo na for us, like, a lot of women are so obsessed about their size. Even men, right? You're so obsessed. You obsess about your size. You obsess about your weight. I have friends. Yeah, I mean, in this case, size doesn't matter. Like, I have a lot of friends who, like, they don't want to go out because they feel like they've gained a couple of pounds. And ayaw nila magpakita sa tao because they
What?
get
That's horrible.
Putang inong baboy mo na ngayon.
exactly.
I'm like that. I'm like that because I grew up big, so I have my days where I'm very like, oh come on, dude, I feel bad about it. But most of the time I don't take it personally anymore.
Like,
so
you
I can
don't go out
empathize.
when you feel fat?
I can empathize. When I was younger,
You feel
especially.
Yeah.
I've been every size under the sun. I feel, but I think I just got to a point where I was like, I'm embracing my body's journey. Right? Like, there are some things that are just out of your control, and those that you can control, then do it. If you can't, deal with it. Like, learn to embrace what you got and work with what you got. There would probably be a time where I would probably just be so jealous of Rika's size, for example. I'm like, how in the heck did you push out 2 babies? Like, where did they come out of? I really want to know.
Well, when I was pregnant, like, that was my biggest. I was such a whale. I gained 53 pounds on my first pregnancy, and it was like from 104 pounds at 5'5". Can you imagine how skinny I was to 153? It wasn't a nice thing to look at, but I was going out. I was super happy at that time and eating, very comfortable, happily married, but at that time, so parang eat everything, still felt sexy. Husband made me feel still loved and sexy and comfortable. But man, when I look at those pictures, I'm like, damn, what was that like?
Yeah,
oh,
but I mean, like, but that was your body's journey. Like, like, you couldn't push out kids, and you couldn't incubate a little human, without putting a couple of pounds on. So, in a way, like, that's something to celebrate, right? Like, your body went through that. Pretty amazing. Rufy is like, Klasai. Yes, Rufy, we hear you.
Hi, Rufy.
Here's a friend of mine. She's one of my good friends. She helped me out my slump at one point. Jasmine Hernandez. Are you related to Rix Hernandez?
Hi, Jasmine.
Okay, so she asks on sexiness, where's the fine line between being egocentric and being confident? What?
Good question. Interesting.
Good question, yon.
For me, I think you'll know if it's coming from ego because, again, like, you're gonna notice like there's a need that comes out, right? So it's either like my need to feel right or my need to look good. And if you have that self-awareness and can take a step back, then you know that, okay, this is coming from ego. I think like being confident naman is just, I'm gonna, like how the French do, I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, like I'm detached from what everybody else thinks, but I'm putting in more, or I'm being a lot more in tune to myself than I am to other people. And I think being egocentric is the other way around. You care more what other people think than what you do.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think also maybe, if I may know, some red flags for people who are more egocentric is their inability to be respectful of other people. Sorry, binata pa ako. Like for example, you may be okay, fine, but you may think highly of yourself, but if it requires you to put other people down or say anything negative of other people, then I would think that's not confidence. That's definitely not confidence. Because I think when you're confident, you have this energy that lifts people up.
Right.
It's inspiring. It's inspiring. That's the word for it. But when it's about egocentricity, it's more like, hey, look at me, I'm better than you. Parang ganun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would agree, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, it's like you're always shining the light on yourself. And diba, like your ego should mature as you get older and when you reach adulthood. But once it stays like like children, they always just think about themselves. You gotta shed that off, diba, when you grow up. So I think like when you show na parang, hey, look at me. Obviously that's vanity.
Yeah, and baka may pagka-narc na yun eh.
Yeah, narcissistic. I mean, even people that aren't narcissists have narcissistic tendencies that they borrow those from those habits.
Diba? It's like a spectrum, diba?
Yeah. So you just have to be aware of it and be careful that parang, okay, am I doing this to get validation for myself, or what am I doing ba?
Yeah. Exactly.
Pero ladies, I
it's all
men. I have a question on behalf of men.
Okay.
Sabihin natin, a man would possess one or multiple of the following circumstances in their life. Pangit sila. Pangit.
Ayan ka na naman sa mga scenarios.
Hindi mayaman. Mataba. No. One of anyone. Any of the following. Pangit. Or hindi mayaman. Or mataba. Or maliit yung bird. Parang gano'n. Okay, so let's just say the guy had one or more of any of those four. My question is, what can he do to be sexy? In the what's your advice as women? Because I know men want to, we all have our handicaps in life. You're not so tall. You're not so buff. You have the worst car in your group of friends. But what can you do to really get like sexy?
Women are the same. Like we also have our own hang-ups. I think it just comes down to, with everything you said, what can you control? Right? So let's say like if for you like not having enough money that's your hang up, well, guess what? You can control that. You can have as much or as little money as you want. Right? If it's a weight thing, if you feel insecure about your weight, then that's the sign that you might want to do something about it. But if you're completely fine where you are, then that isn't really a problem. Right? And then the other thing, dude, you just need to own. Right? Let's say pangit ka nga, but like, you can talk up a storm, or you're super charismatic, build up on that. I have a friend who is super proud to be jutay. Like, he tells everybody, siya si General Jutay. Pero, siya raw yung pinakamasarap na jutay ever. So,
wow.
Like he found his silver lining.
That's good. That's good.
That's good.
Like, right? Like, sexting is really about that mindset of, like, what do I want to do about it? Or what do I want to enhance so like people don't see this part about me. They concentrate more on the others.
Exactly. I mean, there's a saying I think this is a Chinese saying, that there are no pangit people now. There's no ugly women. They're just lazy ones.
Hirap
So
lang.
Oh, that's nice.
same
That's
with guys. You know, if you
I
know
agree.
how to fix
Sloppy.
yourself up,
Yeah, you're sloppy.
exactly. You
Yeah.
can always enhance and level up the way you look, kahit konti. But I mean, I don't know what you can do about the small bird thing. Is that
You own it.
controllable?
That's all you can do. And then you kind of look for like other options. Yeah.
What's that? Oh,
Hmm?
You don't know what that is? How did
I
you
don't
get
know.
2 kids and not know what that is?
I'm the virgin here.
No, but I think okay. Because there was when I was younger, I thought I had a small bird. Di pala, joke.
What
Ah,
is it?
okay. Anyway, whatever. So, because when you're young, diba? I was like a teenager, and then when I first saw porn, I thought that was abnormal. Because I was watching porn, and everything was as big as my arm.
Yeah.
And I would be like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Is there something wrong with me? Like, and I think, okay, and this is a topic a lot of men go through. And, I was going through it for like a good part, a whole decade, I was like traumatized.
Yeah.
So I think one being, is try to detach yourself from feeling the shame, no? It's really the shame kasi when you start to be ashamed of something. It's like what your friend said, diba? Even if he has a small penis, he's not ashamed.
Ever.
He's not ashamed about it. And
It is what it is.
because the moment you shame something about yourself, I think that's that you're headed to the road opposite of sexiness.
Right.
Diba? So, ayun. Sabi ni Timmy, daan daw sa performance. Hello, Timmy, the half Italian. I want to welcome the Italian stallion to the show, Timmy Pakuri.
Hey, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
My brother may hear it. Si ate lagi ako sinasabing ampon ako kasi maitim daw ako. Kasabi niya sa Shane.
Oo, naman si ate naman eh. But then that's the job of ate.
Exactly. My job is to give you a hard time. But support you regardless. No. Now me and my brother, we have good banter. So we're good.
That's great. But thanks for your answer. And I hope this helped men out there who are feeling insecure, because men can feel very insecure, especially now in time of COVID, for people who lose their jobs. Men can also be very attached. Parang the way that they see themselves is with their jobs and ganyan.
Yeah.
Because psychologically, it's that need to provide. I have a lot of friends, and I do have clients who that's what they're insecure about. Like they don't want to get into a relationship yet, or they don't want to get married because they feel na what they're making like enough.
Yeah.
So they don't feel that ready ba.
Oh, I know. God, salamat. Thank you, ladies, for shedding some light on that wonderful question that's been bugging me.
Here's the thing though as well of like being sexy, right? Like it isn't all about looks. I think especially for us women, like like honestly, if you want to be sexy, like learn how to be kind, learn how to be compassionate, learn how to be empathetic, and learn how to listen. Right. I assure you, no matter what you look like, we are going to want to hang out with you and get to know you because of those qualities, not because of, the car that you drive or how much money you make or like whatever other external things. Because, that might be that might be interesting to a certain demographic. But if you want to attract high quality women, that's definitely not the way to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about balance naman. And I think also like guys, also want to meet women that are not just super nice and super, super
Oh
girly,
yeah,
super. I
sure.
think
Yeah,
like
good.
I feel like guys also want to meet like girls that are assertive, that aren't afraid to rock the boat, like that can be bitchy, because I think bitchiness can be perceived is only perceived by the other person who is insecure or jealous, but being bitchy is actually just a way of being self-assured and parang yun nga, parang you don't care about, it's not about not caring because you're not kind. It's more of not caring about what doesn't matter, and it's about caring about what really matters. So
Yeah.
maturity,
I
in
love
other
myself
words,
enough. Yeah. Hmm.
right?
Being able to love yourself enough that not everybody's opinion matters,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
you have the right to speak up as well. What about you, Rob? Like, so again, like let's switch it around. So how does a woman, who isn't as pretty or isn't as, I don't know, like whatever your requirements are, how do they get a Rob Pengson?
Boobsy.
Hmm?
Boobsy.
Okay.
No, no. Okay, okay, okay. Let's just
How do
say.
they get a Rob Pengson?
Wow, wow,
How do
naman.
they?
Wow, bachelor.
thank you for implying that my opinion is high on these things. But
Yes.
I will say no. I think when a woman is very confident with herself, it's not confidence. Okay, let me change the words. No, if they are comfortable with what they have been given, the things that they cannot change, they don't apologize for it, or they're gonna
Yeah.
laugh and cover your mouth like that because your teeth is whatever. Diba? So they don't apologize for what they've been given, but their life means something that they're going for something big in their life, and it's not about catching a man.
Yeah.
Mm.
For a lot of women, because it's all about catching a man. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the
Really?
moment the man, a lot, yes, especially Filipinas, the moment the man senses this, you lost him already. Patay kang bata ka. That's why
Mm.
the men, they want to go for stronger women. They want someone who will challenge them, not
Mm.
literally, but challenge them to become better versions of themselves. So if
Mm.
you're too much of anything goes, whatever the man says, for me that's not
No.
sexy. And
People
to be honest,
are like,
I get more critical of beautiful women, Mia personally, because I find what Rika said. There's no ugly women. There's lazy women. If a woman for me is lazy, oh my gosh, I don't care, dude. She could be Rachel fucking Peters. I'm out. I don't want lazy women, and I'm not talking about lazy like they're lazy with life. They don't have these
yeah.
goals. They don't have these disciplines. They open their
Mm.
mouth and they sound like, "Ay, oh my gosh, oh please." That's why I go
Shut
like this.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it.
Mm.
And
I think what
we live in a wonderful age, dude. Slim, petite girls are pretty. Slim, tall girls are pretty. Thicker girls are pretty. Everyone, to be honest, it's
yeah.
it's just, it can be sexy. But yes, you cannot be lazy with yourself. And I know it's
Yes.
harder for women. I know it's harder for women, but God blessed you with being the more beautiful gender. So go ahead. That's the penance you have to pay for being the more beautiful gender. Oh my gosh, ang papangit ng mga lalaki. 'Di ba? Pag ang babae pangit, mukhang lalaki. Pag ang lalaki pangit, mukhang
Oh,
aso.
oh, that's the first time I've heard that. That is not.
Very
So
Filipino thing. Di
that
ba?
is
Pag ang
so
babae
bad.
pangit, mukhang lalaki. Pag ang lalaki pangit, mukhang aso. But that's why
Mm.
since you girls are the fairer sex, syempre, you have to take more care of yourself, di ba? nice.
But I agree, but at the same time, I think self-care is for both genders. Like that,
Sure.
that is a
Of
part of what makes you sexy. Like if I'm
Right.
gonna step up and, do all this maintenance is a hard thing. Getting waxed every month isn't a walk in the park.
Yes, yes.
Right.
But like
I'm sorry to
what
say this,
we
but
do
if on a normal day a man puts powder on his face, dude, that's not fucking sexy. That's fucked up, dude. Because you have some straight men who put makeup for social.
And yung sobrang kapal na, diba? That's not good.
So sige, I have a question because what I kind of see here, at least, is, and what kind of frustrates me as well, even like with the whole dating, whatever, is even when I find somebody attractive, people here, they don't know how to flirt. Like there is the push and pull of flirting and being sexy. It isn't a thing here. Why is that?
Because it's like you're a pokpok, you're promiscuous, you're malande. It's all towards that negative connotation. Na it's a bad thing, but in reality, it's just the dance of courtship.
Exactly,
embrace
that's
it.
part of the fun.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. It's usually like if okay, what usually happens with me, for example, is if I give a guy a little bit of attention, it automatically goes to, oh my god, she wants to sleep with me, like done deal. You know what I mean? Like, but no,
I'm that of you.
Yeah, or that's where the assumption goes, instead of what I'm actually looking for is I'm looking like the British call it banter, right? Like
Right.
you want that like push and pull of pag may sinabi ako, may isasagot ka. And if you can do it in like a flirty way, then that gets me interested, because to me that tells me that there's something going on between your ears, right? Na marunong ka sumagot. Like the French call it flirting, right? But we don't have that here. It's so weird. It's either like you're super torpe and you try to get to me through your friends or whatever, build you up, blah, blah, blah. Or you do take that leap, but then if a woman shows you a little bit of attention, you automatically, it means she wants to sleep with you. And that's not the case.
That's not good. That's not good.
It's like a cultural thing talaga. I mean, also,
Yeah, it
I
is.
think religion does play, I think, a role because of upbringing, diba, in church. The whole modesty thing, being holy and whatever.
Mali naman yung definition ng holy ng mga pare.
Exactly. Well, because they're basing it off their experience. Diba? So, Maan says it's still taboo here to have women initiate the first move.
No.
I'm all for it.
But
what do you guys think about that? What does Rob think about the first move?
Timmy and the other guys do. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. Well,
Let us know.
I think women can make the first move, but I have a proposal.
What's the proposal?
If you're gonna convey it verbally, that the guy has a chance. I think the statement that you make should empower him to take the lead.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it makes sense, but sometimes the guys don't pick up. So parang, the girls also that are, kasi some women are driven by their own masculine energy, diba? So they like to parang nudge the guy na parang, hey, come on, I'm here. Like, what are you doing? Tapos, the guy naman won't respond. So parang, hello? Isn't it obvious? Kind of thing. So what is that? Like the guy, pero the guy naman likes the girl, parang obvious naman.
Yeah.
How would you say it to a guy? Let's make a case study.
Sige, like for example, for me, for example, like I told you guys before, I'm super manhead when it comes to guys. Like I have no idea if you like me, because everybody for me is in the friend zone. But then when I like somebody,
makinig kayo guys, ha? Diretsuhin nyo na sila. Manhid yan.
Yeah, but But like for me, like if I like somebody, I actually tell them, you know, and it's just kind of like, you know, hey, you know what, like I really like you. Um, you know, that's kind of it. And then, you know, I think it's the way that you say it as well. You know, if it's just like a bit softer, a bit feminine, you just leave that door open. And then bahala na yung guy to like try to, you know, so like what do you want to do about it? You know? But then it's up to you. Like, do you want to make a move or not? You know, if not, then that's cool too. I'm just gonna treat you the exact same way I did, but at least I put myself out there. You know, I don't see anything wrong with being the first one to like put that out. Like
can I have a line, an actual sentence that you
an
would use?
actual like that I would use on a guy.
That was
the guy. I'd probably say something like, I don't know. I'd probably say something like you know what? Like I really, really like you. Like I find you like super sexy.
This is after what? Like the first date, the second date, what?
I don't know. Like whenever you feel that attraction, and you kind of.
That's what you said. You said, I like you and I think you're really sexy. That's what you said.
Yeah, basically, like I just really like you. I think that you're really sexy, or like I love the way you think. You know what I mean? And that just leaves it open. I didn't say I caught feelings for you. I just like you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think a gentleman will take that as a good opportunity to make the standard, the appropriate standard introductions, perhaps. You know,
but they don't. They look at me like I'm some sort of alien, and I'm like, oh fuck this. Guys here don't know how to flirt. Sucks.
Yeah,
and like that's half of the. You know, that's half of the enjoyment of dating, right? Like, what's he gonna say? What am I gonna reply to that? Like, where's that push and pull? My brother says, "Pwede mag first move ang girl, wag lang mag I love you agad-agad."
Oh, girls, makinig kayo, ha?
Something you need to know about my brother is he's allergic to the words "I love you." He runs through the hills, even if he actually like.
I love you is so nice.
You hear that now? I love you is so nice.
He love you is so nice.
I love you for me. I tell my brother, okay, bye, love you. He goes, sige, bye.
No, I love you is everything.
I love you.
I love you guys. Okay, Tim says, I don't mind if women make the first move. It makes it easy for shy guys like me, but I also watch out when it's too easy. That scares me. What do you mean, like what?
What's
like,
too easy?
He's too easy, or you're too easy. I don't understand.
No, like the
girl is too forward.
Easy.
Yeah, if it's too easy, it's not good.
Like the boobs in the face, kind of thing.
Maybe, I guess. Yeah.
Does that scare you?
No,
you're wrong.
I find boobs in my face quite pleasurable.
It gives me anxiety now.
Okay.
Yeah. Anxiety runs in our family, I'm afraid. Yeah. so sige, I'm curious.
Oh, you say I love you a lot. You say I love you a lot. So I'm surprised your brother. It gives your brother anxiety.
We have our own like versions of anxiety in the family. He's learning. My brother is learning.
Ladies, are you all familiar with the hot crazy scale?
The hotter they are, the crazier they are. Yes.
There is an actual video in YouTube. Do you know, ladies? Do you know this video? Oh my gosh.
No, I haven't.
The hotter you are, the crazier you are, basically.
Hey guys, stop me. Am I going to break a bro code if I share the link with the ladies? Amy, have you
seen it?
Oh my gosh.
I need to see it. What is it?
I've seen it, but I'll tell you right now, I think it's just that's a mindset. You know, I think that like when a girl becomes a bit too unattainable, guys need to find fault there. And that's where the hotter they are, the crazier they are kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, because I'm like, dude, like if you could tap that, if you could get to that, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be calling her crazy.
Right.
Okay. Timmy says no. Let them watch it,
I've seen
okay?
it.
I'll post it. I'll post this. I'll post it after the show.
Jericho's like, I think the graph is for How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think Rob's that much of a Barney, anyways. So
What's a Barney?
Barney, you know the character Barney, trying to get women. Always like there's always a hustle. There's always a playbook, something in the playbook to like get a woman.
You know what? I think I recently I've had some success communicating with women. Like in the last 2 to 3 years, maybe. And I just realized, I'll tell you my trick. Wow.
You have a trick.
Robert has a fucking trick. Yeah, but it's not going to be what you think. Number one, I tell myself, you know what? Whatever she says, whatever she does, whoever says hi to her, I won't get jealous, I won't get mad, and I won't be judgmental. So that's my frame of mind coming into this conversation. Diba? So I won't get jealous, I won't get angry, and I won't be judgmental. Diba? So that's my frame of mind. That's just my frame of mind.
If you like the girl.
Of course. Yes, of course.
I never realized how territorial you are.
How what?
How territorial you are.
Territorial? In what sense?
Yeah.
But wait, sige, I'll share muna, no? So ultimately, I don't know, it's just basically, you don't want, well, before I was, diba? Titignan mo lang na masama, putang ina, paang ko yung gagong yan eh.
Really? You were like that?
Yeah.
I cannot imagine this, Claire.
When I was younger, when I was way younger. Tana no, santo ka no.
I can't imagine you.
That's why I didn't get any dates in fucking high school, right? So anyway, but I think the way to a woman's heart is a man's ability to converse sincerely. Because I believe that as a woman speaks, an intelligible man will find an opening to connect. And once there's a connection, wala, may chemistry na eh. Matay na. Pag may chemistry ka na, putang na, kahit ano pang itsura mo, pasok ka na. Pasok
For sure. And here's the thing as well, like we smell the bullshit, right? Like ramdam namin, like if you're putting on a show or if what you're doing is genuine.
Exactly.
And it goes both ways. I'm pretty sure men can also smell, you know, a woman who is just acting and pretending to, be what she
For sure. I agree. For sure. So that's my thing that I've been doing the last 3 years, and it seems to work. And I notice now, hindi na ako kahit anong ganda ng babae yan, look, it's so easy. Like when I talk to you ladies, look at you, your girls are beautiful. I don't get sindak na. But I don't get sindak with the women. Like I don't feel. I don't let my programmed insecurity take over its me. I don't allow it.
Yeah, good. That's interesting.
But I'm not gonna tell myself like I'm the coolest guy out there, the best catch. I don't tell those things to myself. So I'm after. It's the secret of conversation. Be sincere of what the other person is saying, and find a good, appropriate response and everything. And that's all it is.
Exactly, really for sure.
And it works.
It's interesting.
It's like
both ways. Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like you were telling your story about like how you were growing up. I think I was the complete opposite. Like I was super happy. Like if I would see my boyfriend like getting all this attention from the opposite sex. Like I would even be happy to just like if there was a party, I'd like leave him in the room. Like sige bahala ka dyan. And I don't know. Like I just feel so happy to see him getting that much attention. Just because I know that dude's coming home with me tonight. So sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Down and dirty.
Right? So.
Down and dirty.
So yeah. No, it's so I guess it still really is. It really is a mindset. And for me, din kasi the more na sinasakal mo yung tao, or the more that you like binabakulan mo sila, or the more that you feel jealous about the people they hang out with and whatever, like the more you're giving them reason to stay away from you. That isn't sexy.
Exactly.
But just giving
Yeah.
them the freedom to be who they are, and then just appreciating them for who they are, I think like that is super sexy.
That is such
Right?
I don't know, like a whole new level for people to do, because even up to now, people our age, like they still can't do that. They still have like
and I think it's also
insecurities,
sexy
diba?
for you. Yeah, it's
No,
also
I-
sexy for you. You can like go to your guy or your girl and say, "Babe, have fun. I'll see you later." Right?
That's
And
so
then like
so nice.
right? And then like whatever, like he's coming home with me anyways. Like flirt all you want, guys. Take
Yeah.
it. Right? So yeah. So I'm curious, guys. Do you guys have any tips on what makes you feel sexy? And guys, if you have any comments on what makes you feel sexy, please add that so we can talk about it as well. Really appreciate it.
Tips
If
on
I-
what we do to make ourselves feel sexy.
Yeah,
You know
I mean,
how-
I'm pretty sure between the three of us, we have our own little tips and tricks, right?
Yeah.
You know what makes me feel like a fucking stud?
What?
Fucking
What?
like a fucking stud. Okay.
Wow.
I'm gonna dude. As in, this makes me feel like a fucking like a stud, dude. No one can resist.
Don't say morning wood.
All right, so here it is. I'm gonna drop
No.
the bomb.
Okay, go.
Game.
This good or bad circumstances. I knew that my last couple of days, I've been doing the right thing steadily, the right choices, the right everything. Dude, I feel like freaking Superman. So it's kind of like an upward spiral.
Yeah.
Diba? So for example, I had a problem with this one, and I handled it well. And then later with my kids, diba? I handled it well. And so when I have a string of handled it wells, dude, I feel like a stud. Kahit itabi mo sa akin naka-Ferrari, wala yan, puta. Oh, magmumukhang owner yung Ferrari niya sa big dick energy ko. But you have to get it. You really gotta
BDE.
really,
Big
man.
BDE is sexy for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing from you, it's really about confidence and being grateful for the wins, no matter how big or small.
And
makes
confidence that's validated, validated confidence. It's not like I
Yeah.
choose to be confident, diba? Verbal affirmation. No, not like that. Like you were tested and you did things right. You weren't yabang, but you weren't cowing down. You weren't a pushover, but you weren't a tyrant. You did things right. And when I have a string of those days, my gosh, I feel so good. So
Because
good.
you emerge like the victor, diba? It's like you
Yeah.
actually triumphed over it.
Yes, and especially if my actions have helped other people also. Good. I feel like the studiest of all.
Studiest.
Oh,
The studiest son of all.
the studiest of all. Like, which woman would not want this?
Would not want.
Sure.
Parang
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
care-
What
Or-
about you, Rika? What do you do to feel sexy?
What I do, I feel my most super. What's the word for stud for a woman? I feel my.
Sexy.
I don't know.
What's the opposite of stud? I feel
Sexy.
my most.
It's not a
sexy-
vixen, not a vixen. No, sexy woman.
Sexy. Is when, like I said nga kanina, diba? One thing is when I'm in control of my mind, which means like my thoughts are all aligned. I feel my sexiest when I can think so clearly, so concisely, and I actually can articulate those words. So I'm mostly at my sexiest time in the morning. That's when my mind is clear. That's when I write. That's when I do all of my brain work, and then I feel my sexiest when I'm alone. It's like kind of like I have a secret with myself, and so only I know what I'm wearing, only I know what I look like down there, and whatever, it's like that's for me. So I feel my sexiest when I know that I have a good, healthy, and strong, empowering relationship with myself, and my thoughts are not just positive and stuff, but they're also productive. Like when I find solutions to problems and things like that, like I feel like, yeah, I can do this, because I'm a single mom. So I feel good when I'm able to play also the part of being a provider also for my kids and my family. I feel like, okay, you know what? This is great. The more I feel like I don't need a man or a relationship, the more I feel like I'm ready to to have one. You know? So
Yeah.
it's cool. I like it. It's like I like myself enough to say stuff like that, and
Put
it's cool.
yourself
That's
first.
when I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, put yourself
Yeah, for
first,
sure.
and the rest follows. It's like I've never had this much like friends, conversations, and things like that. And it only started when I established that bond with myself. So yeah, that's a tip. Be alone. Learn how to love your alone time with yourself. Have a relationship with yourself. Talk to
Exactly.
yourself.
That's all I've been having for the past 7 months.
Diba? And
Alone time with
that's why it turns me off when I Rob. That's why it turns me off when I meet guys who are anything with their lives. Parang, dude, this pandemic is giving you a lot of time that you can use, you know, to upgrade yourself. Sayang. Don't waste
it's
it.
a mindset. Yeah, for sure.
Foxy. It's
Sige.
a mindset. Foxy mindset, sabi ni Nap.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
since you guys kind of went more into like the intellectual, emotional sexiness, I think I'll example to physical. And I think like, you know, in order to feel sexy, you need to learn how to take care of yourself, right? First and foremost. And it's about like coming up with like for me, like I have like my self-love, you know, rituals, whether it's something as simple as enjoying a shower or like putting on body oil after, or, you know, like really enjoying like my morning routine and stuff like that. That makes me, you know, just feel sexy, knowing that I've put in the work to take care of myself, put in the work to take care of my body. I think another thing that I like to do that helps me feel sexy is, you know, I like buying sexy lingerie. You know, I'm not saying that somebody's necessarily going to see that, but you know, it's something that I like to do for me, right? Like knowing that I'm
your
going
secret.
out. Exactly. Like it's my secret, and you know, this makes me feel confident. This makes me feel extra sexy when I go out. It's just, you know, there is you have a different way of presenting yourself when that's kind of the confidence that you're being shown, right? Yeah. Tim says,
Can
I
I
just try to be
add?
funny with self-words. Yeah, go.
Because now, like being a yoga teacher and I teach postures, it's very important to understand that the way you walk into a room, like, you know, when you're going grocery shopping, like when you're mindful about the way you walk and the way you lift, the way you carry yourself, your head, and the way you like puff your shoulders out, it really changes something in your head that makes you feel like, hey, you know, and people actually look at you because of your posture. So
And
I
your
mean, that's
demeanor.
one thing. Yeah, it changes
Yeah, you know,
everything.
For sure. You know what I kind of realize is that there are a lot of women here, a lot of good-looking women as well, who don't know how to walk.
Yeah, the feet are like ducks.
It's yes, it's parang sakang. Like ladies, when you walk with the hips. You walk with the hips, and you don't lead with the feet. I think
You don't
that's something
drag
that
your
like
feet also.
exactly. And I think yeah, that totally like posture and how you walk. I mean, that's how you enter a room, right?
Right.
Sige. Razel says, how does a woman balance being empowered and having quite a strong A personality, but still be feminine enough and not be intimidating to men? When should women be more submissive to men / potential mate? I think feminine energy is also sexy.
It's
Do you want to
super
start,
sexy.
Rick?
Well, I mean, feminine energy, kasi masculine energy is the one that acts, diba? But the feminine energy is the one that like nudges that masculine energy to act. So it's subtle, but it's more powerful. So it's like when you
Mm.
harness that, when you master like using that, you can move mountains. I mean, wars were started because of that femininity, diba? That's why
Mhm.
The Art of Seduction, super interesting.
It's a good
Super
book. Yeah,
interesting.
good book.
It is it's interesting. I think like for women, because I wouldn't say I'm an A type naman, but I am definitely like an action taker. I know na I'm fiery. Parang when something needs to be done, I don't like wasting time. I gotta get it done. That's just me. So yeah, that can be intimidating to like a potential mate and whatnot. But I think that a potential mate that sees that value in you will be like, "Uy, that's a good quality for a partner, diba? I'd rather have that." But
Mhm.
for women, I guess like the whole leaning back thing is cool. Learning how to let the guys lead when it comes to relationships. Kasi iba naman yung work area, iba yung workplace and career. The energies are different. But when it comes to relationship, like, yeah, you gotta encourage the guy also to be able to take that role, because your role as a woman is to be a woman. You can't be the man, diba? So there are a lot of courses and videos on that can teach you how to do this. So I think people should go out there and research and learn. Just like how they would
Mm.
research on how to fix a ref on YouTube or how to fix this and that. Like research on things like this. Educate yourselves on how to find the right balance. Kasi timpla-timpla lang yan eh. You can't also be sobrang feminine naman kasi it's not gonna be compatible with your personality as well. So you really gotta get to know yourself.
Mm.
Yeah.
For me naman, right? So I think just be aware of what hat you're wearing at what time, right? Like in life, we all wear different hats, and a lot of the time, like for example, like we're at work so much, which is why I'm guessing you said you have like that strong type A personality, and a lot of the times we do tend to bring that home. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but then learning to kind of shut that part of your brain off and then switch to, wife hat or girlfriend hat and whatever that means to you, could make all the difference. So like, for example, I'm like you, I have that type A personality. If it isn't very obvious already, like, I'm very mouthy. I put my opinions out there. But guess what? Like when I'm in a relationship, I am the supportive one. I'm the sweet one. I'm the one that, is like always game for like massage, lambing, like, what do you want? Let me cater to you. And that's when I'm aware that, okay, you know what? Like I'm putting girlfriend hat on now. And this is how I want to be, because if I treat my significant other like this, guess what? He's going to do the same to me. Right.
Yeah.
So if you talk to your significant other with your, like that type A personality of you should do this, and this, guess what? He's going to do the same to you, or worse, he's going to resent you. And there's the feeling of contempt is going to be there, as opposed to if you put, like, for me, I'd say I put my girlfriend hat on, and it's more like, the lambing is there. If I want something, hindi ko siya inuutusan, like nilalambing ko na, hey, do you mind? Can you please do this for me? I super appreciate it. How can I thank you? And it just makes that relationship a lot better in the long run. And whether you realize it or not, your guy is he's going to mirror it. He's going to treat you the same way. He's going to go, okay,
Yeah.
like she's super soft and she's super feminine when I'm with me. So I want that masculine part of me to come out, and I want to be able to protect her and take care of her. And that's how you kind of, get around that. So you definitely dig into that feminine energy. There is a time and place, for all of these aspects of our personalities. Just figure out what works for you in your relationship.
Yeah.
Jericho says drink vitamin B12 for sure.
B12
Vitamin
gets
B12.
you very energized all over.
Very energized. Oh,
Okay, I shall drink more vitamin B12.
Heads up. So yeah, what about you, Rob? Do you have any advice for Rizal based, like, from a guy's point of view?
Hello, Rizel. Yeah, okay. So if you have a strong type A personality, I think, diba, so you have your own behavior. just make sure your behavior doesn't emasculate the man, no? Because if you rob the opportunity of the man to play his role, in the beginning you could be nice and polite about it, but it'll only breed resentment later on. But you don't have to be them on a pushover, like you said. No, it's a balance. You got to balance, and I think anytime you and of course we have these gender roles. Diba? I mean, we can't get into the discussion. Gender roles. There are gender roles, diba, that exist, diba? So play the normal, the usual thing. Just balance it. I think because some women who are strong, part of them wants to show the guy how to be strong, but instead they end up emasculating them. And then later, there's going to be resentment for sure. So you got to be careful. And that being said, it's the same thing I said with guys, no? Communication's good, and really sincerely get to really listen to your partner. Listen.
Right. Listen. The art of listening. Yeah.
If anything, that is the most important for guys. Please.
Yes.
Listen
guys,
and understand.
Listen. Stop talking about yourselves.
Yeah. Listen and understand.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think with women, kasi like for us, it's I get where Rizal is going in terms of, like, oh, people say I have a strong personality, etc., etc. I get that. I've been people say I have the same thing as well, but you know what? That's not our only personality. And a lot of the times I think like we kind of take that label and we own it a bit too much. But like there are other aspects of our personality as well that can come out if we choose to, especially when it comes to our relationships with our significant others. And like I say, like a lot of the times, like we are the meanest. We say the meanest things to the people that we love the most.
Yeah.
Right? Like the stuff that we say to the people we love the most, we can never say to our business partners or our clients, right? Because you're gonna get out of establishments, you're gonna get your contracts canceled. But we feel that we have the license to be as mean as we want to the people that we love because they're gonna take it.
Right. And it's also because we feel like we're in that comfortable phase, diba? Like with every relationship. That's why I think it's important to understand, how nature really works, because sometimes we think na, we can do it this way or that way, but we always have to go back to nature, back to how we were built, how we were made as human beings, like our psyche, our biology and stuff like that. And when it comes to relationships, like there are phases that you go through. Just like in life, you have different phases and you graduate and you level up to different things. So when it comes to relationships, like the initial thing for attraction is that you have the chase going on. And so for women, you gotta allow nature to take its course and let the guy do what he is designed to do, which is to pursue you. Yeah, you can open the door and say like, hey, okay, the door's open for you, but it's the man's job to take that role. And yun nga, don't emasculate the guy, diba, by taking over that role. And then after that, syempre, you go through like the honeymoon phase and everything like that. But that doesn't last, because after that you get comfortable, and then that's when the work begins. And that's when you gotta bring back like, okay, sexy mindset. You also, my partner, you gotta work on your sexy mindset too, so that we can keep each other glued together. I mean, it's an art. You can think about it like that, or you can think na parang wala, ganyan lang yan, parang ganyan lang yan eh kasi comfortable na, so wala na, that's it. Like I hate it when people say, I hate it when people say, oh, ganun talaga pag marriage, parang you get sloppy, and that's okay. But the thing is, it's not okay. If you feel like there's a problem with it, then that means it's not okay. So do something about it. But because society thinks na parang, that's the way it is, ganyan talaga yan, mangyayari talaga yan. Hindi ganun talaga, and then where do you end up?
That's a cop out.
You end up not
lazy.
together.
Basically, you become lazy. Diba?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's work. It's every day
Mhm.
deciding to say yes to your partner. And if one
And
person
having
just
that
says, yeah, if one person parang isn't in the mood to do that with you, then you already have like one point na okay, you're drifted. And tomorrow, if one person is indifferent, okay, that's another point drifted apart. So it's like a step forward, two steps back kind of thing.
which
And
builds to resentment, which builds to contempt, and that is, where relationships could die.
yeah, so that's why like I really encourage women especially to embrace their sexuality, own your bodies, like celebrate your womanhood and don't be afraid to like to be playful. It's okay. You're an adult. Go for it. As long as naman there's a difference between being lusty and pokpoki and versus pokpoki
I like
What
that.
is the what is the difference?
of pokpoki.
Uh,
Pokpok.
okay, fine.
Let's ask Rob.
What's the there? Oh my gosh, that's
Pokpoki is parang may
it's too
sexy
much. It's too
na.
much. Trying hard.
It's like dirty.
Trying.
It's like it's not
Walang class.
clean. Walang
No class.
class.
No class. And I know
Class
girls
is
hate
no.
that. I know girls hate that. That's why I use it. If you wanna be like a foxy woman, dude, good sexy has class. Pokpoki,
Yeah.
Pokpoki is sexy without the class, maybe if I may.
For me nga, it's not even sexy
No,
yung
it's just
pokpoki eh. It's just like
maybe it's a
in your
it's a
face.
It's vulgar. Vulgar. Yeah. Okay, get.
Yeah.
Sige.
It's
That
like
makes sense.
yeah.
It's like what?
But whatever, everybody has their own journeys and sometimes sex sells. I don't know.
sex sells.
Sex
Well,
sells, it
if
does.
it's for business, then it's good to be pokpoki. If you're a pokpok.
Can guys be
It's still
Can guys be pokpoki?
No, if you're actually making money through being a sexual worker, it's good to be pokpoki. Pero the classy ones are the ones that get paid more. That's alam ko.
Parang
For me,
high
naman, like
ticket.
if you say like a
High
guy
ticket
being a
sale.
pokpok, probably aren't those like the fuck boys? They just
Oh, so yeah, no. So the equivalent of a pokpok is a fuckboy.
fuck boy.
It's possible.
Sige,
Diba?
well, we're
Yeah.
we're already at the top of the hour, and I like that Rika kind of ended it with advice on how to get that sexy mindset. So Rob, what is your advice on for people who want to like dig into that sexier mindset that they have?
Stand up straight.
How did it look?
My advice is I'll have some simple and more profound. Siguro. So stand up straight. Learn to not be offended by a difference of opinion with other people, but be able to defend your own opinions, without being forceful. That's just shows respect for yourself and respect for the other person. And for women, I really like women that when they dress well and fix their hair. I'm sorry, but I love it. I'm a sucker for it. Like like what you're wearing today, ladies. Damn, kakagating ko yung labi ko yan eh. I don't bite my, so yeah. It's wonderful. And when women kasi, when they get dressed, it's like you're celebrating all those gifts God gave you, the bum, the legs, the everything, the neck, the shoulders. It's amazing. And you could be big or small. Diba? Okay.
Size doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's my tip.
So yeah, I think for me, what's a good tip? You guys kind of mentioned everything already. If you want to like dig into that sexy mindset, I think for me, learn the art of conversation, learn how to talk to people, and learn the art of flirting as well. That push and pull. Nothing is sexier than trying to figure somebody out, right? Like, does he like me? Does he not like me? What is happening? And that is that at least for me is half the fun, right? Of dating is getting to know somebody and, being able to tap into that side of you where you feel desired and, you feel sexy and you feel that somebody wants you. And that is a daily mindset. So I hope you guys learned a lot from us. I hope you guys learn, to embrace your sexiness, because it is really confidence. It really, it really helps turn heads, and it really helps you to stand out, whether or not it's at work, in your relationships, or just wanting to take your relationship to the next level. And with that, that's the end of season 1. I'm kind of sad.
Oh my God. Sad, but we did it. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Ladies, thank you for your company in this wonderful journey. I love it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
This
you.
is great.
We've had so much fun. So guys, we're going to take a quick break for a couple of weeks, and hopefully we will be back for more. In the meantime, let us know what you guys want to hear us talk about, what you guys, want to see more of from us, I guess, and we will do our best to put that into season 2.
So excited for season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
Season 2.
Time
Mindset matters. Yeah, let's do this. In the meantime, thank you so much, guys. Have a great evening, and we will see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.